So I'm driving today, switching through the channels, looking for something, and I get to liquid metal on Sirius XM. I'm fucking driving, I'm looking at everybody around me. Liquid metal. After I can't find anything worth a damn listen to any of the things that I've got programmed because they're just hit or miss. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It sounded like Jack Black. And I realized somebody, like, not Jack Black, like Tenacious D. And KG, whatever the hell his name is. I said, somebody has caught up with the idea that they can just sound like Tenacious D and they'll do just fine because evidently, you know, there is a market for it, and I'm in it. I like Tenacious D. But, you know, they're imitating Tenacious D. And then it switches. And I'm looking, I'm going, what the fuck is going on? I'm seeing Sabaton. And it switched from Tenacious D to and I thought, except balls to the wall, you know. I thought they went from Tenacious D to Accept. Even though I've never heard Tenacious D glorify Accept, they should have. And I found it interesting. There's this band this day that is just imitating all these fucking people. There's another one I heard Iron Maiden's almost exactly a riff. They're being inspired, sure you can say, but maybe a sound, but not the same damn song. So, and I'm going, wow, and I'm thinking about this. Went right from Tenacious D to Accept. And as I'm taking it in, and I'm realizing I enjoy this, I see a guy there at the side of the freeway on a ramp there, that one of these interstate freeways, this guy trying to get out, state freeways, highways, trying to get out a couple of lanes and all that. And he's sitting there and he's got his hand out the window and he's banging. And I'm listening to the beat and he's banging on the side of his fucking truck, his old beat up truck. He's got a shaved head and he's got a beard that comes scraggled down here, and he's got few teeth, I can tell, because he's smiling. He's just banging the fuck out of the damn thing. And he's listening to his music, I'm listening to my music. And I said, we're listening to the same goddamn station. It was one of the most beautiful things. I say that a lot, but you know, some things are better than others, and everything keeps getting better all the time. One of the most beautiful things, just to feel like there we are. And I'm looking at it, and it's Sabaton, and there's a song called Stormtroopers. It's just like, wow. It's talking about how the Blitzkrieg began, and I'm just thinking of American History X, how Nail was the headliner in that movie. Why didn't they have Sabaton opening for them? It was just really something. Can't be sure about that. I'm sure there are a lot of people on comments on their videos probably that argue back and forth about it. That's just my first impression. And through the way things went, I was reminded why it is I didn't go on to be in commercial radio. I remember thinking, I want to work with a bunch of assholes. It's the whole Last DJ thing, you know, and it was before I knew anything about it. I was just like, I don't want to work with anybody that can tell me what to do all day long, even though they're wrong. And look where we end up, right? I guess that's the way it's designed. But then when Sirius XM came out, I was hearing this, I'm like, you can just say anything you want. I could work for these fucking guys. I could go on and on and on, and they'd just say, just do what you do. Nobody seems to mind. Something like that. I mean, when I was at 90.5 FM KSGS San Jose, I was like voted in at the early thing as the clown once, maybe twice. I think it was once. And I think the look that I gave them when they fucking awarded me with the station clown changed their votes the next year, because the next year I was out drinking and smoking with some fucking guy outside who in the end taught me what Vala Varga means. Well, I'd already heard it, but I'd never had it used against me. Screaming at me, going, Valley Varga! Outside of the San Jose Pizza Go-Go. And they had to come out and get me so they could bring me in as Metal DJ of the Year. So I got my respect. But it got harder after that because people felt like they needed to contain me. It wasn't harder for me. It just was, there was a little bit less complicity. I don't know if that's the word. I say I never want to work for these people because you gotta play your rotations. They get new music. You have to play the new music and act like you like it or something. And that wasn't. I didn't like it, and I didn't act like I did. Instead, I just quit playing it altogether. I was on a morning show. I was told from the beginning, you get to be who you are going to be. They'll just let you go. It's something in rules says you're supposed to write a script for every show, but nobody ever bothered until the management changed. They started giving me shit. And I said, in the end, it was me just saying on the air, you're not going to have Judas to kick around anymore. But that's why I knew I didn't want to be in commercial radio. You don't make any money. I mean, you have to like the job in order to keep it. You could be working in a factory banging the CFO and have as much fun making little money. And here I was saying Sirius would work out really well for me because you can pretty much, and then this guy, here's the newest thing, this is all up and coming, and I'm like, this fucker's having to play rotation too. So it doesn't even work to be on Sirius XM anymore. They've reached into them and pushed them. The latest and the greatest, and nobody even cares.